Oh, I'm doing this. This is my beauty regime, honestly. All I do, it's hard to believe, all I do is wash my face with anything I can find, like some sort of cream, sometimes, sort of it. And then I just get a warm face cloth. And I just wipe it off. Like that. That's it. Put some moisturiser on, that's it. That's how I stay. I don't even got a towel and I have to use the dressing gown. Well, girls, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we're at war. Now, it's not a war that you fight, you know, you're on a battlefield or for a country, or it's not a war for, you know, I don't know, for territory, or even for equality, or, you know, equal rights in a workplace. This is a war that women are being called up to fight on their faces, in their bodies, in their minds. This is the war about self. That's right. It seems like more and more every time I see a friend, I have to start looking at them going, have you had the forehead done? Have you had a little bit of puffing? Sadly, one by one, the sisters are falling by the wayside. It's a terrible thing to see. It is, it's heartbreaking to see your beautiful sisters suddenly believe that they're not attractive anymore, or somehow they need a process to beautify themselves, to, I don't know, to make them like themselves, to make someone else like them, I don't know. One of those kids has taken my moisturiser. I don't know. Oh well. Oh, there it is. Hiding at the back. My 2 products. But it is, I don't quite get this whole thing, and you know, it's this whole beauty industry that is filling us with this idea that we're not enough, that we need more work done, that we need to be younger, that we need to be beautiful. Like aging is a disease. Like somehow when your boobs flop and you get a little bit of a double chin and you get wrinkles and you get that kind of a thing happening there, and your tits go down and your gut goes up and your ass goes a bit saggy, somehow that's not attractive. What rubbish. But like, you know, that you're meant to somehow, you know, keep it all up, because otherwise you can't be attractive. We are redefining what it means to be a woman and to be an attractive woman. And sadly, we're redefining on this really narrow margin of what's actually been said as attractive, which is breasts, you know, especially faces like this. It's like not just age has been outlawed, expression has been outlawed. This friend of mine the other day told me, this is Double Bay, of course, but it's a bit like Byron Bay, not far off, said she was speaking to a friend of hers who said, oh my God, I've just broken up with my husband, I'm so upset, but you can't tell because they did such a good job with the Botox. When how sad is that? You can't even show your real feelings anymore. You can't show your poor heart because it's frozen over, and that look of constant control, when really underneath there's the scream of absolute pure self-loathing. I know it's harsh. Now, I'm not anti-plastic surgery for people who've had cancer and had breasts removed, or they're a terrible burns victim, or you're some sort of conjoined twin or a Siamese twin, or perhaps you've got some sort of terrible fistula, or you've got, I don't know, you've got 5 boobs, or you've got, you know, something, your penis has got a big lump on it, or if you're a woman, you've got a penis, you know, maybe you want it removed. You know, if you've got anything like that, I'm like, go for it. That's what plastic surgery was supposed to be for. It was supposed to be for the greater good, to give people who lived with aberration and with difficulty a chance at having a normal life. But there's no money in that. There's no big business in actually just helping people actually feel better about themselves. The multi-billion-dollar plastic surgery industry feeds on women getting it who don't need it. It's a much bigger market to market this whole aspirational face and body to women that are perfectly fine. Now, where do you start a market like that? You start insidious little drips out there of perpetuating images only of beautiful young airbrushed women. We're trying to make ourselves look like airbrushed people. That to me is the most frightening thing of all. And as I see these army of zombie women, the walking dead, the frozen people with lips full of Ristylane, faces filled up like swollen knees, I think, oh my God, they do look like that. They look like they've been photoshopped by someone. They just look spooky. It is really sad. So I'm actually out there, once again, I've said it before, it was a great line by Jerry Hall, who was a supermodel, who actually came out and said, you know, actually quite controversially, that anyone who has needless plastic surgery has a mental illness. That perhaps, you know, and I agree, perhaps if you actually are thinking that you need to love yourself and going to have a better life, that you need to do something like that, maybe you need to actually think a little deeper about what is the process going on that makes you think that will be the path to happiness or self. And while I get on to self, self is the thing that pisses me off the most in this whole belief in the sanctity of self, that if I want something, if it's my personal choice, then it must be okay, that it has no impact on what happens after me. It's just about me, and that's not true. My personal choice today affects women that come after my daughters and my daughters' daughters. When I choose to shoot my head full of Botox or to rearrange my breasts or do anything like that, I am changing what beauty means for all those other women that aren't going to have a choice. So it's not just a personal choice, it's a choice for generations to come. So think about that, and don't augment your boobs, augment your mind. Much sexier. It's got a joke anyway, all this plastic surgery. It's called plastic for a reason. Isn't it time we started going organic, girls? So why don't you start at home and get an organic head? Thanks. I'm letting myself go.